Thank you, Soumya. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prithipratha Misra, and today I'll be presenting on building a pre-trained large language model dataset for the low research Odia language. Okay. Here is the brief overview of today's presentation. Let's start with the introduction. Large language models are crucial for addressing the problems that low research language like Odia in India encounter. By using advanced deep learning with aim in Odia language, promoting the language diversity. Here our aim is to utilizing AI to preserve regional languages. Coming to the next slide, the main objective of this project is to enhance NLP tasks for the Odia language using deep learning models like transformers. The pre-trained Odia LLM will be accessible via platforms like Hugging Face, supporting researchers and non-commercial use to foster linguistic diversity and cultural heritage preservation. Our goal is to provide tools that support linguistic diversity and cultural heritage preservation. Okay. Now coming to the next slide, preparing the dataset was a comprehensive task involving the collection of over 293 million tokens and nearly 20 million sentences. Our dataset contains data from Odia newspaper, Odia song lyrics, from Wikipedia, and also from Indic NLP corpus. Now data collection. In data collection, we focused on gathering textual data from Odia lyrics and newspaper, which involved downloading, processing, and ensuring the quality of the data. Our approach was to build a high-quality dataset that can support for building our model more accurately. On a dataset statistical table. Here is the summary of dataset with respective license information, token counts, and sentence counts, providing an overview of the vast array of our Odia language resource available for research and analysis. Like CultureX contain 49 million of tokens, and PMO dataset contain total 2.2 millions of token, and the others are similarly. Here is the pie chart of how the dataset is distributed across different domains. On the potential use cases for our Odia LLM are numerous. It can be used for language model training, question answering, text generation and understanding, as well as semantic analysis and many more. Here are some examples of our data. Like we gave the image of the original data, and after passing it through the OCR and after human validated. And in the second example, we have a passage of newspaper, and similarly we pass it through the OCR and after validation. Now availability. Our pre-trained Odia dataset will be available on Hugging Face for research and non-commercial purposes. Anyone can access it at the following URL. Conclusion and future work. The Odia LLM aims to provide tools such as an Odia spell checker, which will aid content creation and maintain language accuracy online. Future work includes the development of an Odia dictionary and comprehensive spell checker to further support the Odia language. Now, there are some limitations like limited coverage of certain domains, such as it cannot answer the question of higher mathematics and science, sparse availability of dialect variations in the Odia language. The manual validation process is time intensive and subjective, which could impact the dataset quality and the language model performance. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the sources and references that have been instrumental in our research. These works have provided valuable insights and guidance throughout the project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Preeti, for your presentation. Now maybe we can open the room for discussion. Questions from audiences, please.
So, Preeti, have you tried to improve the OCR performance? Like you have shown that Chirantani that has merged with Sakal. So, have you tried to improve the performance of OCR if you have a suppose color image is there? From the color image, you are trying to access the Odia text. Have you tried that one? Like suppose one magazine
Yes,
is
sir.
there, Odia
We
magazine.
tried it in OCR, but we did not find good result through OCR. So we tried to validate here. So we tried our human validation, and in future work we will improve and try to validate it all the data through OCR.
So why you have not taken speech as a what instrument to collect the data? Have you thought about that one? Because if I'm going to talk within 1 or 2 minutes, we can collect more number of sentences. Have you thought of that one in future work or no?
Sir, uh, first we take the textual data. We can go through the voice because in Odisha there are different dialects and the accents are different. So it is difficult to. Um,
No, I am talking about text data collection only, but through the speech. I'm talking about the text data collection, but if you can collect the data through the speech, if I'm going to record and automatical, that is going to be. Miss, can you have thought about that one in future work?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the other challenges you have faced during the data collection? One is your manual evaluation after OCR. So what other ways are there? Have you faced any
Like in
challenge during web scraping?
if yes, sir, we scrap the Odia lyrics and we face the more difficulty in scrapping the books like from PDFs.
So why?
So we can't get good result on OCR when we pass the PDFs of books or like Odia Raman and books or Odia books. When we pass it through OCR, we don't we did not get good results.
One problem that I can understand is that PDF in Odia, they might have used some ASCII based font. So whenever you'll convert it into, you'll extract data from it, you'll get some garbage light of a text because the text is that has been converted is not in Unicode. If it's a text, otherwise if it's an image, then you always have to use an OCR.
Yes, yes.
But have you tried the corpus that is available at BPCC from AI from Bharat?
Sorry,
AI for Bharat has some open source corpus available. So have you tried using that for building the LLM?
we. mm,
I think they have taken. Priti, have you used AI for Bharat for your LLM resources?
AI Bharat.
I think.
mm,
So BPCC is the latest addition to AI for Bharat's corpus creation initiative, where they have like previously they had some 1,60,000 Odia parallel sentences, and now they have increased it to some 8 lakh around sentences. So you can use that to create your LLM.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the information.
It's like 8 lakh sentences for Odia itself in the new
Yes,
collection.
it's actually a parallel corpus, English to
Uh-huh.
Odia parallel corpus. We are using it for machine translation. That's why I'm saying. So you
Oh,
can use it
awesome.
for your monolingual purposes.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion.
Sir, once more spell it, Nisit sir. What is that? BBC.
BBC.
It's BPCC. Let me share the link with you.
Actually, boss is breaking.
He's going to share in chat box. Okay, the link.
Awesome. That would be I believe that would be very useful for our community.
Priti, is that publicly available, the whole data set collection?
Yes, ma'am. It available on the Hugging Face.
Priti, would it be possible for you to reshare the screen? Maybe we can look into the data set table that you were presenting, which had
Okay.
culture. Yeah.
Yes, I think like we taken the outdated data set, but we have like
And Preeti, I had just one question for you. I was wondering, did you or did a team try performing any data filtering while preparing the data? For example, deduplication, removing any kind of toxic content. Yeah.
Can you repeat again?
Okay. Uh, I was just curious to know if you did a data filtering step as well in the data processing pipeline or data preparation pipeline. By data filtering, I mean something like deduplication, removing toxic content, um, removing any form of bias, things like that.
In PMO data, we get the good data, and newspaper data is more like it has more error in it. So we validate the newspaper data through manually.
Okay.
Mm.
So just for our larger audience to follow this better regarding the license, I mean, does all of this data set can be used commercially, or there are certain data sets which we really can't use commercially?
No, the data are available for the resource, so research and analysis.
Just for research. Okay. Yeah, it would be really nice maybe to have a slide which sort of categorizes the data, right? I mean, for example, Culture X, what is the distribution? What kind of data it has? Maybe Oscar dump, the Odia Oscar dump. Maybe, yeah, that would be really nice. Maybe people can like for a specific task, if I want to sort of fine tune my model, then I'll directly jump into the data set instead of exploring. That would be a nice addition to the
Yes,
slide.
putting the domain for each
Yeah,
specific.
domain-wise categorization. That would be real nice. Also task-wise if possible. But yeah, thanks a lot for your presentation. It was insightful. If you don't have any question, then maybe we can move on to the next presentation. All right. In that case, it seems we don't have one. Okay, so the next presenter would be Shriti. Is she around? Shriti, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Did the problem fix, or you want me to share my screen with
Oh,
the?
actually, it's still here. They are saying that it's gonna fix by 5 or perhaps gonna late.
Okay. In that case, you want me to share the screen for you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull out that. Okay. So everyone, our next presenter would be Shriti Shubham. She is an independent researcher, and she would be presenting her poster on the topic impact of AI on journalism.
Yeah.
That let me try sharing my screen. Just let me know when I have to, move, jump this.
I'm not able to actually.
Um,
Now it's
you,
visible, yeah. So first of all, I really apologize for all these inconvenience because there is the transformer caught fire and the work is actually going on here. So yeah, this thing that is there. So yeah, I'm Shruti and I have done my master's in media governance and now I am studying something that is like I'm working as an independent researcher for for last 1 year and recently I've been studying the impact of AI on journalism. So this is the topic that I want to cover and had some research on it. Okay, I'll start with the, should I on my video as well? Wait.
that would be really nice for the audience to
In
be.
this case, I just don't want like if I lost some, if I because it's mobile data, I'm not able to join. Anyway, if it's possible to go like this only.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
let's try that.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Okay.
worries.
So I just want to start with a very basic thing that if you heard, there are lots of debates are going on that AI will actually replace the journalists and all these jobs are going to be lost. And recently, what happened? The Washington Post actually came up with replacing AI with journalists. So obviously these things actually are here and people are very concerned that it may affect a lot of things. I just want to on that basis I literally I was working on it and I came up with something that is to look at how actually AI has some potential as well as obviously it has some challenges. It has some challenges and has some possibilities as well to impact the journalism. So first of all, I'm just gonna start. We have already discussed a lot of thing about the generative AI and large language models and all those things. So large language models and the journalism. So in this presentation, I'm particularly focusing on the machine learning and the chat GPT and chat gpt and basically all the generative AI which can actually generate images or which can generate the text. So these are some of the things that I am focusing on this poster on this presentation. Okay, so I am just gonna first of all, like what exactly chat gpt can do in the a newsroom or how it can impact the newsroom production. So if we actually go to the next slide and we'll see that actually it can create a lot of better prompts and a lot of better prompts for the ideation for actually it can use for summarizing the text. We can actually use AI, I mean chat GPT for the summarizing, for editing, for many other purposes like fact checking, fact check for check purposes. So these are some of the things that we can actually do and we can actually generate more personal contact for sharing with the subscribers or newsletters. These are the things that we can actually do with the AI. So what is happening like in 2022, if we look at that, there is one of the surveys by Associated Press and they said that summarization AI is actually one of the most requested demand because what it can do is it's not just to summarize the text but as well to change the articles into broadcast pitches or into to creating the podcast. So these are some of the things that can actually the summarization, like Agola was one of the AI which is being used for to actually to convert the articles into pictures. Unfortunately, I had made the presentation in my I wanted to show it through the laptop, but again the things happened. Yeah, so what is actually, these are some of the things that happening, but like if I show you the prompts or the better ideation, it is something not a good prompt, but I just want to show that, like, if you write a concise and informative news lead that effectively summarize the most important aspect of a breaking news story in India, if we'll do these things on ChatGPT or through the ChatGPT, they will actually give you most of the best ideation, and you can create the best content through these article. So obviously these are some of the things are there. And for the fact checking, you can use Crayon AI for Grover AI. These, if you enter your text in these fact checking in this fact checking actually AIs, they and whatever the claim is there, they will fact check for you. So these are some of the things that is AI can do for you. And even with the machine learning, that machine learning can actually extract the patterns, and it will enable to it will enable AI to adopt the approach which can actually easily solve the larger data sets. So for the investigative journalist, it is gonna help a lot to break down the to find the patterns and to actually come up with some data which can help in the investigative journalism. So these are some of the things that chat GPT or generative AI or machine learning can do. But now the thing is that there are the challenges as well. Like what are the challenges at here, if you look at that, and the concerns regarding the using of AI. It's one thing that we need to understand, that there are a lot of the news companies are already using, and even before the coming of AI, they were already using the chat, they were already using the AI for the generating text, or for for generating content. Like Washington Post was using the wordsmith, and they were all the other companies were having some their models which they were already using before, even before the chat GPT. Now uh, now if we look at the what is the concern right now we have, is that it will replace the journalist. We are gonna lose a job, and all these things are here. I'll come to it later, but if we look at what are the problems with the AI. For example, if you will see, what I did, I asked the chat GPT to generate the article on accountability in AI journalism, or how AI can impact the journalism. So it came up with the Guardian, it came up with this article of the Guardian, and the second article it came up with the New York Times. Both the articles were the actually fake articles. They were actually fake quoted, and in reality those article doesn't exist actually. So, and this is something GPT-4. So what happened in this case, the Guardian has actually faced this issue, and some of the audience, some of their readers went to them and asked them, these article doesn't exist, and there they clarified that this article actually doesn't exist because they never wrote. Now, this is some of the thing that the concern is that AI is constantly, producing the fake articles, fake quotes, fake creating the misinformation, and this is something that is being discussed in Delhi High Court as well. That what happened is that, the discussion was like that. For now they are actually these things are very minor. Okay, we can actually fact check, and we can actually see, okay, this is not something exists. But in case they may actually in future, perhaps they may come up with something more offensive or something like that. So for that we need the AI regulation. We need some of the things which can actually regulate the AI, and can actually minimize their whatever the problems may come up with it. So these are the debates which is actually regarding the AI. Second thing, if we look at the machine learning, what is happening with the machine learning, or obviously machine learning is something that whatever our raw data is if our raw data is biased, we cannot actually so our output is definitely going to be biased as well. So if we look at one of the example, what happened in the context of USA. So the ProPublica is one of the they did one of the stories which actually reported that the arrest using the machine learning has a scorning system which basically affect the people with the color which they actually affect the black people mostly black people, and it is biased toward the black people, it is biased toward the towards the marginalized communities. So these are some of the challenges. Now if I look at this, so if I I generated this image and I asked the AI to generate an image about the team. I said generate an image about a team which is winning the World Cup. Now if we look at the team is basically AI is now team can be team can have the feminine as well as the masculine. But when we say the team, they come up with mostly the male members who are winning the World Cup, not the female as well. And this is again, it is if we ask generative AI to generate the image about the people who are who are mostly in the who are mostly doing the crimes and all those, they will come up with something that is the images of the people with color, or the black people or the brown people. So these are some of the bias that is the biasness that is in the AI. And if we really want to make to want to empower the newsroom with the chat GPT or with the generative AI, we need to mitigate those challenges, we need to work on those challenges. So obviously this is something that is not the AI is biased, it's something that the human behind those who are training the AI is they are biased, they are actually prompting like this, which is definitely making machine learning, obviously, which is affecting the machine learning. Now what exactly if we need to do, we need to the concern regarding that AI will replace the journalist is not possible, because the work of the editor or the human is more important at this time here, because the content that is being generated by the AI is absolutely is not something that is, it can help you in the technical work like of grammars, in editing the text, or to summarize the text.
Sorry to interrupt, but we'll have to keep going with our schedule. So could you please wrap up in the next few minutes?
Yes, continue. I think one slide is left.
Yeah, okay.
Kriti,
So yeah,
go on.
hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
please go on. Please go on.
continue.
Okay, should I continue?
Yeah,
Please
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
This is, yeah, so this is one of the research that the site is here. This is one of the research that is done by Pang and the other scholar, which it actually explored the bias of AI generated content. And what they did, the scholars used the New York Times and Reuters report headlines as prompts to generate the content. And now by using those headlines, they found that the content is racially biased and has a gender bias. So obviously now they come up with something that is like, when we are creating the prompts, we need to be very careful of what exactly we are asking with them. And so yeah, these are some of the things that we need to do. And the other thing is about the regulations which we have is it's obviously right now we do not have any regulation, one regulation which can control the AI. The companies, news companies are coming up with their own regulation. For example, they are actually allowing journalists to use AI, but they are saying that okay, don't use the more don't share the more confidential news here, because it may affect the there are some concern regarding the privacy of the privacy of the readers, of the privacy of the people who are engaged with the companies. So I think these are some of the things that is there with which I try to explore on it. Yeah, perhaps I think this is enough maybe. Again, I think if we want to just last thing, if we really want to minimize, if we really want AI to be used in the newsroom, we need to actually work on the AI as well to make it more efficient. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Shruti. It was really insightful. I guess there were a lot of learnings for most of us from in the audience, especially for me. So I have a bunch of questions, but I'd actually open the deck for the audience. Please, let's have a discussion. Any questions from the audience?
Yes, so may just start your question. With your question, you start then.
Okay, sure. Okay, let me go back to this specific slide of yours. Do you have a rough idea of when did you prompt ChatGPT and it came up with this referencing to the Guardian? Was it like super old or?
Sorry, yeah, what did you ask?
Yeah. Do you have a rough idea on when did you prompt this? I mean,
It's
when did
recently,
you
I
prompt
think
ChatGPT?
just
Oh, this
last
is
day,
very recent?
last to last day, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it would be really interesting to know if a fake news is being generated, and for example, a content company or a journalist for that matter uses, let's say, ChatGPT or any other AI model and sort of publishes that news. And if, I mean, if the source is cited to be Guardian, but that doesn't happen to be the case, like you explained in here, who is to be held responsible? I mean, lawfully speaking. Is it
Yeah.
I mean, should we blame it on OpenAI for having this model, having generated the content, or the distributor? In that case, that would be the journalist.
So the thing is, at here it is entirely fake. It is something that is open AI is something which has done it, which has fakely quoted the
Hmm.
name, yeah, name of even the name of the journalist and the date. But if you will go and search this article on like on Google, you'll
Yeah.
find you'll find something else. Like it may be on like artificial intelligence or something else, but this is not the article that will be there. And it is something that is actually Guardian has already addressed through their writings, and they have come up with us some of the clarification regarding
No.
when they faced earlier.
True that. I mean, I understand the problem there. What I was asking is, oh, whom should you blame in here? Is it the journalist who used ChatGPT for generating this, or would you blame OpenAI because they are, I mean, they are the company behind ChatGPT, right? So is it the journalist or the company, OpenAI? Who would you blame?
I think obviously, like that. This is why we need to understand that we cannot entirely create the content from the chat GPT. We can use it for the purpose, okay, for the like if at here I can, if I suppose if I needed that, okay, accountability in AI journalism. Now, if I look at I may use something which is like, okay, something that can actually help me to understand the things in a better way. But I cannot entirely believe on it. At here
Hmm.
I need to do the journalist job. I need to Google it. I need to confirm these things with the
Got it.
other sources. This thing I need to do here.
Got it.
Just I think Soumya, just one day before only one news came that some Israel companies has what generate more than I think 500 or 5,000 like that and
Mhm.
news against some party, and they have used okay in your in the election going on
Mhm.
election. So which affect this party, this government
Mhm.
government rule party. Some news came just one day before. Some Israel companies they are blaming. They have generated to the ChatGPT.
Okay.
So, from a legal perspective, it's the journalist who's responsible because the name of the journalist would be there on the news. The second person who would be responsible is the media house onto whose platform such a news has been published. So anybody anybody can sue these two people.
Mhm. That was
ChatGPT is
precisely
just
my
a tool.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of my question, and the other being, I mean, are you aware of any, so to say, any government policies for regulating AI in place already?
No, not right. Actually, European they
Yeah.
were discussing about it, to come up with the policies and to regulate the AI. But
Mm-hmm.
so far, their policy is not something like to uniform, has some uniformity, and it is only the news organizations coming up with their own, policies to engage with to AI, and obviously,
okay.
something that I'm gonna read more about it, or perhaps gonna learn about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that Indian government are also coming up with something that they were also discussing to regulate AI, because in many cases AI is actually training the data with the reports, and they are with the reports which is like of journalistic reports, and it is something that is not they do not have any consent of the companies or the news organization. So Indian
Got
government
it.
is actually coming up with the protect the journalistic works and all these things. Yeah.
Got it. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm aware of what is happening in Europe because I'm sort of responsible for trading European models. I have an idea there, but I was clueless about any policy, if any policy is in place for.
Well,
Uh,
recently, EU Parliament has approved an AI Act,
yeah.
and it is in force now.
Mm-hmm. But
As
that
far
just
as
applies for EU. I was
yeah, it
wondering
is a
if
place for
exactly.
from an Indian perspective, still people are working on it. There has been this white paper that was released some time ago in India.ai.
Mm-hmm.
So still the talks are on. Maybe in the coming years we might get such an act.
Yeah. As practitioners of AI, I mean, this is a must. Um, yeah. Uh, Maybe I'll follow up with you later so we can have a good discussions. But um, yeah, in the interest of time, I guess we have to move on. So thanks a lot. If you don't have any more questions from the
So
audience,
giving me this opportunity. Yeah.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, I can maybe stop sharing my screen. Perfect.
Thank you, Siddhi. Good.
All right.
Who is
Let's
next?
move on to the next presentation. Sakshi.
Sakshi.
Okay, so our next presenter would be Shakshi. She has been working with us, and she's also a student at Banastali Vidyapit. Her presentation would be about building a large Hindi data set for pre-training LLMs. So over to you, Sakshi. Yeah, we share your screen. Maybe you can unmute yourself and
Okay. Okay. So, sir.
sure, go on.
Hello everyone. I'm Sakshi Pawar, an intern at OdiaGenAI and a student pursuing an MSc in data science from Banastali KIIT University. So today I am here to present my poster on building a large Hindi language dataset for LLM pre-training. So this is my poster, and after that first we gonna to introduction. So first we think like what is LLM. So LLMs being the key pillars of the generative AI, and LLMs are called like large because they are pre-trained with a large number of parameters. So and the corpora to understand and generating natural language text, and these different LLM models are trained on a large or broad corpus of text dataset which contain hundreds of the millions to billions of words. So now pre-training is the process of training a model on a large corpus of text usually containing billions of words. These phases help the model to learn the structure of the language, grammar, and even some facts about the words. So it's like teaching the models so the basic rules and the nature of the language. So this is the goals and objectives. So this is a key characteristic of the any any pre-training LLMs. So first we take data, after that objective, then we training or pre-train the model. After that we have a outcome, and we are using our LLMs like different tasks. After that main main perspective of the data set collection of LLMs. So we can also know bad data leads to a bad models, and good data leads to good models. But carefully process of high quality, high volume, diverse data sets directly contribute to model performance in downstream tasks as well as model convergence. So, typically training of dataset is comprised of textual data from diverse sources such as like Wikipedia, news, social media, and other platforms. So, dataset diversity is especially important for LLMs because diversity improves the cross-domain knowledge of the model as well as downstream generalization capacity. So, this is the diagram of the process of the data collection. So, like these images virtually represent the process of data collection. So from the various source for the data creation of the LLM data set. So we have a different source and we take the data from these sources, and after that collect the data, and after that we are going to the pre-processing of the data. So this is the like diagram of the pre-processing of the data set. So first we take the data, after that we using the some pre-processing data pre-processing techniques of the refine our data. After that we are using that data for our LLM. So these are the some pre-processing technique which we are using, like according to the data set we are using the pre-processing technique. So I'm using like data sampling, so ensure diversity in the sample to cover various linguistic and content, and represent a subset of the data from larger data set, and balance the data set to avoid bias towards specific topics or sources. After that, data cleaning, like removing HTML tags, ads, non-textual contents, like any noise common in source like social media, and removing that noises. So correct spellings and grammatical errors. After that, tokenization. So tokenization is a process of break down the text into the smaller unit like words, subwords, or characters, and uh, these have one technique, so such as like BP, byte pair encoding, and word piece of the for subword segmentation. After that, data deduplication. So identify and removing the duplicate data entities. So this is the my data set statistic table. So I'm using so I am using like Wikipedia data set. So this data set like 43.67 million token counts, and having 1.85 billion millions of sentence count, and these data are contain topics like science and history of culture and literatures. And next is the dialect Hindi data set. So it is the most important data set in my data sets because it is a dialect Hindi data set, and it is basically um, depends on the folk song from 26 Hindi related language like Awadhi, Bengali, Bheli, Bhojpuri, Kannauj, Maghi, Malvi, and Punjabi, Rajasthani, and Sanskrit also. And after that, AI Bharat Indic paraphrase. So it's contained like 55.67 millions data set total tokens, and that data set contain the sentence pair with similar meaning but different linguistic formulations. After that, we having the miracle corpus. So it's having 33.66 millions tokens, and that data contain the text source from the legal documents and like some court proceedings and administrative records. After that, we having the Oscar data set. So it is the most large data set in my data set. So it's have 745.99 million tokens, and it collection of that tags from like media source, including literary work, academic publications, news articles, and social media posts also. And after that, I having the big science XP3 all data set. So it's also have contained 395.32 billion tokens, and it is that data set is sourced from the scientific literature, academic publication, and technical documents. So all each data set contribute unique linguistic content and thematic riches. The pre-trained random data set for Hindi with diverse linguistic contextual variation. So now, what is the process pre-processing which I am using in my my data set? So in the pre-processing phase, we started by containing the data set from Hugging Face. Initially, we took the data from the Hugging Face. So there have some like if I talk like Wikipedia data set. So if I am taking from the Hugging Face, so we can see having this data set having so much columns like ID, URL, inference, input, output, and others. So uh, I'm I am leave out that columns which were extra known as for our purpose. So we refine the data set by removing these unnecessary columns. After that, we perform like intensive data cleaning, which involve removing like HTML tags, ads, and others. After that, technique to ensure consistency in the numerical units, data formats, and currency symbols. After that, like throughout that process, we stream the our data set into the two initial columns, name and content, which we are using in our LLMs because it's for easy to understand to pre-training LLMs. So we took the two columns. First is name and second is content. So contents column hold all the relevant data, text data, and now this refined or processed data, we are clean and focused and ready for the upload to the Hugging Face. So this is the processing of my data set. After that, this is a chart of the domain coverage. Like we can see right hand side, this is the domain coverage like general knowledge and scientific. After that, so this is the our data. We are excited to announce that the dataset compiled for our research project and will be available for all research and non-commercial purpose through the Hugging Face platform. So this is the link of our dataset. Uh, uh, So this is the link of our data. After the end of the presentation, I will show you my data on a Hugging Face. After that, this is the percentage pie chart of the tokens, and this is the like conclusion. So this is all my uh, strategy for developing an Indian LLM for like focusing on the Hindi language on data collection, pre-processing, and accessibility. And at the end, I have a total 1.28 billion tokens from various sources at Hindi language, which combined and for a robust Indian NLP models. So and having so much future work refine our evaluation criteria, increase resource availability, and making a pre-training model. So this is a working like future work working. First we have a data set from the different source, after that pre-processing, and after that pre-processing we are pre-training of our model, like set up our models, and after that we have our Hindi LLM model. So that LLM models maybe we are using many tasks like machine translation and others. So this is a like future work, maybe building pre-trained LLM, which we are working on it, and comparing with the existing LLMs. And we have compared the Hindi LLMs with BART, GPT, T5. After that, we make our LLMs. So and making apps using the our Hindi LLM. So uh, thank you for this, and this is our reference. And thank you so much. Now I am going to show my data set. So this is our repo, and maybe here I'm not logging the 1 minute, please. So this is our repository for of the Hugging Face, like Hindi pre-trained data set. So this is our data set, like ready for use, and it is like refined into the two columns. First is 1 minute. So like this is a file, here the file name, and it is the content, and this is all like our data, and it's all so attach a readme file. If you wanna use them, then read the readme file and then use. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Sakshi, for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. From the audiences, do we have any questions for Sakshi?
Sir, I have few questions to ask. May I?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
go.
of course.
Please go.
Okay. So, Sakshi, first of all, can you explain what is the meaning of boilerplate text you have mentioned in your PPT?
Boiler?
Boilerplate text. I think it is on the fourth stages while of data pre-processing.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that slide or something, or you can just explain to me what is that boilerplate text means?
Okay, just one minute. 1 minute, I'm showing my slide. So now where?
Sakshi,
Pardon?
can you share your screen if you are trying to share? Could you reshare?
Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah, which one?
I think it was on the fourth stages of data processing.
Yeah, deduplication.
On that slide, it was mentioned somewhere that word
BP,
named
byte pair encoding.
yes, sorry.
Like this is
Please
that slide.
click on to slide number 10. Under data sampling, can you please zoom in? There it's
Yeah.
mentioned boilerplate text. Can you please explain the meaning?
Yeah, 1 minute. So, like in data sampling, we are all like removing, like balance the data set to avoid bias. So, toward specific like sources and domains. So, this is a like balanced data distribution.
No, that was for data sampling, na. I am asking
Data
about
camp,
boilerplate.
data cleaning.
Sorry, my mistake. It was on a data cleaning, a boilerplate text. So can you please explain that word?
Okay. Actually, I'm using this for like cleaning process. I'm using this for the so my like data cleaning processing. So I am using this, and basically I am like maybe this like fixing or removing like incorrupt or corrupted like text, and formatting like duplicate or incomplete data within our data set. So if we have like a like corrupted data or like uh, uh, duplicate data, so we can remove that data within a data. We can use like we can use a particular data for remove that data which are the corrupted or are like incorrectly format or maybe incomplete data.
Okay, fine. Can you please explain what do you mean by data deduplication?
So deduplication means like I am like I'm told you working in my one data set. So first I'm taking all my data set, and after that in my data set we can see like in one file we am using the data, and next the other file we are using the same data. So data deduplication technique used for if we have like one data in the two place, so we are removing the data in a one place, and we are taking only a one time of a particular data.
Ma'am, generally you want to say that just removing the repetitive words, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
repetitive words, maybe, yeah, repeated words, we can use a different technique, yeah. If we are also used for repeated remove the repeated words, or remove repeated sentence, maybe better than we are repeated, we are removing the repeated sentence, not the like
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any more questions?
Sakshi, what do you mean by repeated words? Like, for example, I say, chalte chalte hum kahan aa gaye? So, chalte chalte is a repeated word over here. These are echo words.
Yeah, sir. So
So, I'll be removing one chalte.
no, sir. Just I say previously. So I am not using like a repeated removing the repeated words. So I'm maybe I am using removing the repeated sentences. So like if चलते चलते maybe use कर सकते हैं हम different different चीजों के लिए, है ना. लाइक चलते चलते हम कहाँ गए और चलते चलते हम कहाँ चले गए. सो बोथ आर द डिफरेंट सेंटेंस. If I removing the chalte chalte, so maybe I removing the content of the data. So I am removing a sentence if I having a sentence like चलते चलते हम कहाँ गए, then I having also another sentence चलते चलते हम कहाँ आ गए. So I am removing the one sentence चलते चलते हम कहाँ आ गए.
And I'm confused with this just one word, pre-training. What is pre-training LLM over here?
So, sir, after the data set, like I'm like we are making our data set. So now we are like working on the pre-training. So pre-training like we are training our data set, like training on our data set like Hindi data set, and this is a method to the train our model. So like model train on a model on a large corpus. So yeah, maybe we are using pre-training as a training a model.
Okay. Okay. Right. Got it. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
may I add few more lines, please?
Yeah.
If you have any questions, then yes.
No, sir. I don't think it will be a question. Just as a fresher regarding Gen AI, just asking. I have one doubt that the term, as she told just now, that deduplication here, she is removing the repetitive sentence or words. So, sir, basically, as far as I have learned in NLP, we are breaking down each sentences into tokens, right? So, so is she considering? Does she mean that she is comparing each and every token with so that it won't repeat? Is it like that, or any other methodology behind the deduplication method?
Listen, first, like now we can suppose like we are training a data set, like suppose. So like we are training our data set, and like we have make a LLM. So I'm using my LLMs for the like next word prediction.
Prediction.
So if like just saying chalte chalte, so sir like we have taking chalte, so we have like training a model in a different syntax ना कि like हम अपने मॉडल को different तरीके से like train करेंगे ताकि वो I am saying that context कि
Data
we
creation
have,
choice actually.
yeah,
You can do this deduplication, and there's something called near deduplication.
yeah.
So when you say it's चलते चलते हम कहाँ आ गए, चलते चलते हम यहाँ आ गए. So I mean, if you use certain algorithms within near deduplication, then this would be identified, and one of them would be dropped.
My name is James, and I'm a full stack developer. I have 10 years of industry experience in web application development. And just recently, I started learning more about generative AI application development. And so with my application, let me show you the screen. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you help me hide this? Okay, it's okay. So my application name is Compass AI Career Counselor. So with this application, I want to teach the audience the rationale behind creating this AI application. So it's not a very technical challenge, but if anyone wants who is in generative AI application, I want to teach them how they can create a prototype, a rapid application development, within a 10 minutes time frame. So you don't have to be a too much technical person. If you just know the basic of Python and a Streamlit application, you can yourself create an AI based application. Okay. So in my case, since I am also into generative AI, so I want to create a prototype where I can use already LLM models. So currently in the industry, there are two top models, OpenAI and Google Gemini. Okay. So for this application, I'm using Google Gemini LLM model. So it is basically, doing prompt engineering. And if I'll show you the code as well. Okay. So it's hardly 50 lines of code. So now with this career counselor app, my thought process that uh, if by using the AI technology, how can I give a uh, guided path for student, teachers, or anyone who wants to go from to the next level in their career. So if a student, let's say in 10th standard, and if they wants to become a doctor, so how can they become a doctor? No, so not everyone is there to guide that child. So using this compass, and the compass represent a direction. So that hence the name compass. So if someone wants to become, let's say, a doctor, and he is in 10th standard, and but he is in economical vehicle, or he's economical weaker, right? And so I have taken care into consideration various parameters. So the first thing I took is what you wants to become. So over here, I just want, let's say I'm in 10th class standard. So I will input, I want to become a doctor. And assume I'm from a economical weaker section, so I will choose poor. And if I'll choose my standard, so the standard I'm currently, let's say I'm in 10th standard. And national, so this application will try to provide resources from your country. So if you are from India, it will try to fetch records from Indian region only. And if you are from, let's say, any other part, like say Sri Lanka or any other. So we'll try to fetch those records which is specific to that mission. So I'll be going to choose India over here. Once done, which language you are interested. So currently in my application, there are 5 language that you can choose from. It's just languages which the LLM is capable of translating. So I had just inputted the language, and so what a LLM is capable of, I use that. So let's say I want the information in Hindi, so I'll select that, and for the usual age is between 16 when you are in 10th standard. So I'll choose 16. And over here in the left hand side, you will find a section where you have to input the APIs key. Since OpenAI does not provide APIs key, so but Google Gemini provides an API key for free. So before that, you had to fetch the API keys from here. And once you generate API keys, you just copy paste those. I'll copy my API keys from here and input over here. So the error will go on. Now we'll just click on submit. And so the LMM has provided you a roadmap. So if someone in 10th standard, it says आप चरण 10वीं कक्षा में, the step wise it is giving you the answer. So what step you should follow. So it says कि आप विज्ञान विषयों में ध्यान दें, emphasize on the science subjects, get a good grade, online सस्ता है. It also providing links, and but sometimes many of the time the links are not reachable. So in the future I will work on to create an independent
Okay.
agent. Yes.
Yeah, sorry to bug you in here,
Yes.
but I guess for the audience, it would be better if you could prompt the model to reply in
In English.
English. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
James,
Right.
a very good initiative you were taken.
Right. Thank you, sir.
You can add some other things like suppose I want to be a doctor.
Right.
I don't know which career I will take. Fine, I choose so that it will be better for me. If one student wants to counsel himself or herself. So some other features also you can give, like how good in mathematics. I want to be a doctor, but I am very bad. I don't like biology. So I cannot be a
Okay.
doctor, like that subject. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So there you can use some predictive algorithm so that automatically whether that your system will give that guide that
Uh,
particular guy whether he should be go for the engineering or for the medical or some other domain. From MS,
So
you can give some
sorry,
choice.
right.
sorry, Sir. Can we just let, I guess James is not through his presentation. Maybe let him complete and then we
Yeah,
can
okay, okay, fine, fine,
have
fine.
a discussion. Sorry.
So we have provided what you wants to become. So let a student wants to become a scientist, a doctor, an engineer, whatever, but he don't know how to reach that goal. So once he know, okay, I want to become a general idea. So for the 10th student, it gives a structure way to how he should proceed with the life to achieve that goal. So the first step, the AI is examining to prepare your academic preparation. In class 10, focus on science and mathematics. Class 10 or for science, stream physics. Do your need preparation. Go through these online resources, right? And do need preparation after 12th and this. NEET is conducted by national agency, pattern, MC quiz, and all that. Medical admission, get a step to medical college, and there are resources where you can get more information about the medical colleges as well. Get an MBA degree. The duration it says is usually 5.5 years, including 1 year of internship. Post graduation, specialization, medical practices. Finance, since I have provided that I am economically weaker, so it is also providing that there is a financial assistance for economically and disadvantaged students as well. So you can go to National Scholarship for Students with Disabilities, AICT Pragati Scholarship for Girls, Central Scheme for Scholarship for College and University, State Government Scholarship. So it said that your dream should not be hampered because of your economically, weakness. So you have certain, ways you can achieve your goals. So many of the time, a student is not aware of that. So it's just a prototype, and there are many things that needs to be included. In the future, I'm also planning to add autonomous agents which will go through these links and verify those links and provide more context into this the answer it has provided. And the thing is that it's just a prototype that I envision with the LLM, what LLM can do. And also, let's say with your Odia, Odia LM you are working on. So if someone is from, let's say, Odia background, it want to create an application for Odisha audience. So they can use my source code as well. It is open source and it is available on GitHub as well. So all they need to do, right, just go to the app.py, right, and all they need to do, nothing. If you are using Gemini, just generate the keys, add it over here, and the one thing I had done is that prompt engineering. So I had taken all those parameters over here. Let's tell us what you want to become. The same, or you see on the front end. I take all this input and it is I created prompt. You are expanding career counseling. I tell the LAM very specifically that you are expanding career counseling. So the LAM got very narrowed down. So this is one way where we can improvise the responses. Okay, so give a structured career map in language and all these field that is required, right? So if has someone better idea, they can copy paste this whole code and improvise on this. And currently the languages I have provided is over here, uh, English, Hindi, Spanish, Chinese, French. And if someone wants to include more language, they can do it themselves as well. And if also the other thing I want to tell that if you have an idea that as a generative AI developer, so many of the time what happens that you are constrained by a barrier called technology. You don't know HTML, CSS, front end technology, JavaScript, jQuery. So so you don't know how to uh, you know uh, uh, give a structure to your idea. So I use the front end called Streamlit. So Streamlit, is take care of everything. You don't have to do much. Assume, let's say you want to add a graph or data set over here. So it's just a one or two line of thing. I will show you if it's time allowed. I can show you how you can easily add different aspect into this streamlit application. Soumya, is it okay? I just want, right? I just want to teach the audience how they can create a graph and everything. So it may be helpful for them.
Yeah, if we could do it in like 2-3 minutes.
It's just under 1 minute.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so I have a test app. So if someone is interested in creating the front end aspect, all they need to do is import the Streamlit application, this pandas and numpy. Don't bother about this. So and this data frame is random data that is generated, and so and let's say you want to create a chart within that same application. So you don't normally what happens is you import the libraries and all that, but it's just one line of code. Just pd.data frame and just provide your data over here and create the data. And I just run the application. So what you do is to start running Streamlit run test app, and it will start open in a local host. And in one line of code, you can see that a map is opened up. So what usually takes, multiple hours of work can be done in a single minute, right? So this is just a map, and this is a graph. This is interactive graph, which is all done just by one line of code. So you, as an LLM developer or a genetic AI developer, you can focus on your core understanding rather than focusing on the unimportant things like the front end technology and all that. You don't have to bother about this. Just focus on your data, and you can show your prototype in just in 1 day time. So this is all interactive. So this will help you build application much faster, and you can bring your ideas into a reality within a same day time.
Yep.
So this is the right. This is what my demo is about.
Okay. All right. So thanks a lot, James.
Sure.
I must say this is, I mean, first of all, I was really impressed with the name Compass,
Right. Thank you.
and really like the demo as well. I have a few questions for you, but I
Sure.
would actually let the audience go first.
Yeah, really very much good applications of the LLM, which can be
Thank you,
helpful.
sir.
Okay, so I'm giving some suggestion like if you don't know, so one student want to use that one because it's a AI career counselor.
Right, sir.
So which particular career I'll choose so that it will better for me. So if we can add some features like that only, then suppose that will generate whether that particular student should have the career of something.
Maybe sir, we can test it out right now. Maybe assume you don't know what you wants to become, but you have certain ideas that I like certain things. So maybe you can give me example that I like these things. What is the career perspective for me? Can you give me one suggestion that James, I like this field, but I don't know where to go. We can test it out this as well.
Yes, yes, that's I mean those fields should be there so that
I think it's still possible. I just want to know what exactly you want. Let's say a 10-year student doesn't know what he wants to become in life, right?
Makes sense.
But
Makes sense.
he knows that I'm interested in science, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay. So what we'll do?
So just give interested in science. You can give that
Yes.
one or research only. Only you can give. I want to be a researcher.
I like science.
INC.
Please tell me career path.
Then this I want to see. Yeah.
So maybe we can test it out this as well. It's submitted.
This I want to see. Yeah. Okay.
So
think so.
I think we need to change the
Right. It has
prompt.
given a very broad answer, not
Yeah.
very
Yes, yes.
specific answer.
Got it, got it. This
Right.
I want actually, miss. Okay.
So it says they excel in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Attend career counseling research. These are different science-related field. It has provided, a broad aspect, but not a path. Like I said,
Yes, exactly. Because we are not giving the
compass.
exact path. We have not
Right.
given that one.
Right.
Good. This I want actually. I thought that you have to give one word only, doctor, engineer, like that.
No. It's not constrained by any specific word.
Then it's good. Very good.
How about sorry.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
Yes,
please go.
please.
Please go on.
If possible, I don't know whether you want to add it or not. If you can add it or not. There is in psychology, there is some test called MBTI.
Yeah.
It has 16 personality traits. So if you can assess a person's personality, so based on their personality, you can accordingly suggest them certain career options. If that
This
can
is a
be
very
integrated into
yes.
this, so that
Yes,
would
this
be
is a very good suggestion. And but if you take those questions into this, we can incorporate those very same question in this field only. If let's say if they provide some kind of iframe or embedding things, right? And this can be get embedded over here only, and we can via an API fetch those record and provide that data into the LLM to get a better response.
Yeah.
Did I clarify that?
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
And another issue that might arise by just plugging in the MBTI indicator, would be probably if a student or a kid who's like 8 years or 10 years, he's interested into going for a career path or looking into the career path.
Right.
To take the MBTI test, it would be really challenging because it is more nuanced, I believe. I personally had taken the test, so might be a bit challenging to take the
So
test, find out personality, and add the personality in
maybe
the.
we can create an if-else condition. So only if those are who are 10th standard plus, it will shown to those who users only.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
First of all, yeah, I'm really not a big fan of using a, let's say, out of the box language model for doing this task. Reason being, they are not culturally aware as yet.
Right.
For example, we ask for India. Okay, so
Right.
it looks into some of the documents that speak about India or
Right.
some of the knowledge,
Yes.
if it is not using RAG. But at the same time, we really can't guarantee. Like,
Exactly.
for example, if I'm coming from economically challenging society, and maybe I'm based out of Africa in some corner of the world, right?
Right.
It could be the case that there would be limited data,
Right.
and the LLM has seen during its training, or couldn't access the data because it's not available on the internet as well. So it might not be fair for people, from a very, like, speaking from across the community. It would be a bit challenging. So maybe it would be really nice if we could have, like, you might be aware of guardrails, but maybe we can have something like guide rails,
Right.
as in we sort of using, like, taking the options from the user. We can sort of design a prompt accordingly. And
Sure. But the thing is that, Soumya, we are hostage of data by the Western world. So the majority of data is owned by Google and all the Meta and Microsoft. So
True that.
they have the maximum data about us. So we don't have a in India LLM. which incorporates all the aspect of Indian data set, Indian language, what constraint we have. At this moment, the best of the best element is with the Western world. So
Definitely.
at least we can get started, and when we reach that threshold, when we can customize things, right? At that point of time, we can certainly switch to from our local LLMs and to get a better context. And this app speak is for the worldwide, so it's not perfect, it's just a prototype like
It's
I
not,
said,
yeah.
but it's catered to the worldwide audience. So let's say if someone is sitting in Africa, doesn't know what to do in life, and if this app can help him at least get started, get somewhere, right, and get figure out things. So I'm sure this app has done its job. So and once things get improved and get to the next level, maybe let's say I have better guidance. I myself is not perfect, right? But if someone suggested me that you can incorporate this, incorporate that, and improvise on this application. So with let's say in the next year or something, this app can be more productive to the larger audience.
Totally agree with you there. Yeah, maybe we can have a discussion sometime later as well. I'd be
Sure,
happy
sure.
to discuss this. Another quick thing would be, do you already have the guardrails in place? For example, if I make the age, let's say 95,
You can
would
do
it
that.
generate something? Because that's not possible, right?
It can generate anything. It's an LLM.
Yeah,
But
true.
right,
But have you control or
the you
at
see
the moment how is
if the only control I have is in the within the prompt, where I
got
can
it.
set the temperature and all that.
Okay.
So all right.
Okay.
So if
Yeah,
you want a very
that was my
constant,
question.
uh,
Sure. And maybe Gradio would also be a nice boilerplate starter for our audiences.
okay,
Not
good,
just,
good idea. I will also look into that. Thank you for the
yeah,
question.
yeah. Sure. In any case, thanks a lot for your
It's my
demo.
pleasure. Thank
It's
you so much, everyone, for your
very
time.
encouraging for, yeah, this could be a nice direction. Yeah. I'll definitely get back to you with this. So if we don't have any further questions, that brings us to the end of our demo session.
Yeah.
Um,
Hello, sir.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go.
So this process, like how many languages support in
Uh,
Indian language?
the thing is that it can support as much language as is supported by the LLM itself. So if the LML understand Hindi, it respond to Hindi. I have tried to add Maharashtra and all that Marathi language, but it doesn't responded with that language. So currently I am restrained by the LLM itself. So LLM currently support broad languages, so which is worldwide acceptance. So it doesn't understand even it give a very limited answer when I input Punjabi, and regional languages. So I try to incorporate Hindi, and I also tried to add Telugu, but it didn't responded. So like I said, it's a prototype, and when you like Odia LLM you have created, right? So in future, if the Odia LLM you can also incorporate that Odia LLM in this application itself, where you can use import the using Hugging Face and provide the LLM model that you want to use. And when you receive the response, you can translate into the language that you want to, you uh, want to see the response in. So maybe at this point, it's just support 4 or 5 languages, but Google provide APIs for language translation as well. So even if we are bound by LLM, what we can do is get the response in standard English and get translated using Google language translation. So we can get as many
Um,
language as we want, as long as we have Google language API keys.
sorry, sorry to jump in here.
Right.
We really have to go forward.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
I know it would be interesting for we can have more
Right,
meaningful
understand that.
yeah. Sorry. Uh, So with that, we have come to the end of our demo session. We'll have just one pitch today, and our pitch presentation should be continued tomorrow. So for today, we have a presentation from Siona Jenna from KIIT Bhubaneswar. She would be presenting on restoring old Indic manuscripts using generative AI and LLMs. Siona, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can take over.
Yes, I'm trying to share my screen.
Sure.
Um,
Doesn't let you, or
is it visible?
yeah, we
Yes.
can. Yeah, go on.
Okay then.
Good luck.
Sure. Wait a second.
Maybe just later. Yeah.
Yes. So good afternoon. My name is Siona Jenna, and I'm currently doing my BTech from KIIT University. And before I start, I would like to let you know that I'm relatively new to this field. So if anyone has any clarifications to make, please do so. I've tried to keep things very simple over here. So recently I actually visited the Odia State Museum, and I saw many types of Odia manuscripts over there, and I found it really interesting, but I could not really understand it because I am not like a Odia reader. So thus I came forward with this idea, and I thought that we can utilize like AI and this LLM models in order to digitize these ancient scripts and make them accessible for the larger crowd. So currently we are facing these issues with manuscripts, that often, like due to age or storage or any kind of environmental exposure, they are having some kind of physical degradation, and it often happens that some part of the text is faded. So it's important, like it is very difficult to decipher it. And there are often like language structures. If you consider Pali, even though it's very close to the modern language, it is difficult to know it until and unless there is a person who actually knows both the languages. And currently in use, we just have the manual restoration methods, which is both time consuming and labor intensive. That is why I have come forward with the solution. And for the solution, I think that we can use two approaches. First is GANs, and secondly, the LLMs. So for those of you who are not aware, GANs are basically the generative adversarial networks, and they help us. They have like two neural networks and which compete against each other, and they try to produce good kind of synthetic data that is very close to the original data. So what we can do in this particular project is that we can first of all scan all our images using like normal scanning technologies, and then we can not only enhance the quality, but we can also remove the noise and correct distortions. And like for GANs, the best part is that we can restore the missing parts of the text using this technology, which I think CNN or like computer neural networks are unable to do, because they just recognize patterns. They do not really help in restoration of the missing parts. And also, like you after we have restored the document and have made it legible, we can then transcribe it and using the LLM models and modernize it. Like if it's in some older language, older form of the language, then we can modernize it to the say modern Odia language or modern English. and it will make it more accessible to the modern readers as a result. So over here, I have just showed a flowchart of the main issues which we are facing, the current methods which are in use, and the methods which I am proposing using the use of GANs and LLMs. So let us go to the next slide. So here I'll talk about in details on how the GAN works. So basically, as I had mentioned before, GANs, it consists of two neural pathways, right? So these are the generator and the discriminators. So the generator and the discriminators, they are in this constant competitive games, like they are adversarial trainings, which are basically they are competing with each other. And the generator, it tries to, like, first of all, when we are starting, we are putting in the data set, raw data set of good quality like manuscripts maybe, which are legible totally. So we are feeding it into the generator, and then the generator, it synthesizes these images, and then it goes to the discriminator, which kind of evaluates these images based on certain algorithms. I'll go to that in the later slides. And if the image is real, if it thinks that the image is real, then like it learns to improve using that image, or it sends it back to the generator. So this process continues continuously in this loop, as we can see, and this kind of loop is called a training loop. And using this, what we do is ultimately we get synthetic data, which is obviously not original but very close to the original. And thus we can get like high quality data which will be very close to the original. And for in our manuscripts purposes, say if we have a part of text that is missing, we can make use of these technology in order to interpret it. So that is basically how the GNs are working over here. So for training of the GANs, there is this loss function. Basically, the discriminator, it aims to maximize the ability to distinguish between the original images and the fake images. And in order to do so, it uses certain optimizers like the Adam optimizer, which is a rather complex algorithm. So I won't go into the details of it. And as a result of it, what really happens is that we have a better performance and faster convergence. By faster convergence, I mean that the time taken to generate the result, it becomes like faster, and we get a more accurate result in less time. So after this, I'll talk about how we can like integrate LLMs and GANs for the restoration. So after we have restored the images using the GANs, we can and we can like transcribe it into a digitized format using the LLMs. And to do so, we are basically like the LLMs is converting all the digital text to the modernized archaic modernized languages in order to ensure the readability. And there is always experts who are monitoring it, like the feedback, and they check that whether the originality is maintained or not. So this is the training process of LLM. So throughout the workshop, I think this is basically what everyone has been talking about. So over here, as we discussed before, obviously we need to collect a lot of data sets for the Indic text, Odia text, whatever we are trying to read. And then we are tokenizing it. So tokenizing in simple words would be like we are trying to divide it into special words or characters, specific words or characters. And then we are trying to maintain the consistency, obviously. Then we are pre-training it using the large scale data which we have. We are pre-training the LLMs, and I think this can be done using PyTorch and all. And for fine tuning, again we have like these APIs from the Hugging Face, which can be used to fine tune our model. And there is this training process which consists of the like iterative refinements. Basically, we are trying to like there's a training loop going on which checks whether the generated data is correct or not. And for deployment, we can deploy such kind of application maybe in the cloud, or maybe as a web application or some mobile application. So this is the basic training process which I've given here. So this slide is the implementation plan. So this is also has been kept very simple. We collect the data and then we make the model, we validate it and deploy it, as I've said it before. And other key technologies or techniques which will be involved over here is suppose we are using OCR over here in order to scan the documents and make it help the like computer recognize it. And there is also like the HDR technology which helps in recognizing handwritten text by the computer. And we can also incorporate the NLPs in order to get sentiment analysis or text generations of sort like that. So this is the other key technologies involved. And while researching for this project, I came across similar projects which are already out in the market. So there is this project called the Venice Time Machine project. So over here, they made like they did the same thing. They made use of historical documents from the Venice State Archives, and they digitized it using the OCRs and NLPs. And as a result, they have a massive digital archives. This is kind of easier compared to doing it with Odia text, because they are using the Anglo writing, which is already like the data set is already available for it. And also there is this other project called the Impresso project, which is basically helps to helps us get a large domain from these newspapers, old newspapers. So this also utilizes the NLPs and machine learning to analyze the large collections of data from multiple languages, and then they have made this incredible storage of historical newspapers which people can view and they can study also. So these are the projects which are in market. So for conclusion, I know that this technology is still relatively new and it might be difficult to implement it. However, I think that if we take small steps, we will be able to overcome the hurdles, and ultimately we'll be able to like get the timeless wisdoms from the manuscripts. So this concludes my PPT. If anyone is willing, they can search more about this from about GAN specifically from Medium as well as from Geeks for Geeks. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I must say that was a really great presentation.
Thank you.
And yeah, we should as a community try to explore this even further. So I guess we have like 5 to 7 minutes for question answering. Let's discuss. Any questions from the audience?
Shiona, have you implement anything on the NLPs? How you got this idea so that?
Actually, I have mostly read it theoretical. I'm very new to the field. I focus more on web development. So over here, I have not yet implemented, but actually in the coming semester only, I'll be studying about NLP. So I'm very excited to know about it.
So I think one of the elective is there in your.
Yes, I've chosen for it.
Because very good ideas.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
If no one has any question, then I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Now first of all, I really like the pipeline. It's simple. Let's not go into the very details of GANs and LLMs or specific LLMs that you would like to use. The firstly, I would say going down this approach, GANs, or it just occurs to me, having some experience with GANs. that might not be the very best CNN network to go with. I personally would recommend something like an autoencoder. I'd rather do noise filtering using, I don't know, maybe median filtering, the traditional image processing algorithms, Gaussian filtering and stuff. That would I'd actually follow it by autoencoders, and then probably I'll feed it to my language models. But the other path, rather a more simpler path, would be not using, I mean, basically we are trying to, um, let's say, use two different modalities, right? Stitch two different modalities, vision, and then we would like to translate it to language, text-based modality. So why not just use something like a vision transformer, like the models that are capable of doing visual question answering. You have your script, you can actually do question answering on top of them, right?
Yes. Basically, what I've thought of is if we are suppose scanning, we have our mobiles and we are
Mm-hmm.
scanning using our mobiles. I just want that whenever we are scanning, just like how Google Translate and all
Mm-hmm.
works, that we suppose we are scanning a handwritten text, they
Mm-hmm.
converted it to English language. It's similarly something like that. If we have an app where we are suppose viewing a manuscript in the museum, then we can just scan it on spot and get the details, like the text details of it.
Exactly. But with vision transformers or a visual question answering model, you go actually a step further. You just scan it, and then you have the scan, and on top of that, you can do question answering on top of it. So that
Sure.
coupled with RAG, we can further discuss that in case you are interested.
I'll be-
Since this is a pitch, I would have to ask you a couple of more questions. If given an opportunity, how much time do you think you'd need to execute all of it? I mean, to
So,
predict, yeah.
since
Hypothetically speaking.
yeah, since I'm very new to this, it's just a pitch idea. I think firstly I'll have to gather a lot of people who know specifically the model very well, and obviously data collection is very tedious task over here, because if I even just focus on just Odia language, I'll have to gather a lot of data and train the model if I'm
Mhm.
going the GAN approach. I think that it will take a very long time, but if possible, then like if we have a team, we can make slow progress. And obviously for such models, it's important to train it like continuously or based upon the feedback. I think it will take a year or so if I have a good team, and obviously we'll try to continuously improve the system.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think those were my questions for you. Uh, so hi everyone. My name is Soumyaranjan Sahu, and I'm happy to um, be here and be the moderator of this session, the pitch session. We had a couple of presentation for pitches from yesterday, and this would so basically we'll be continuing today. And with us today, we have Naresh and Piyush, who will be presenting in the session. So without any further ado, let's get started. I mm, as well suggest our participants to pitch in once they are through, our presenters are through the presentation, in order to make the session more interactive. Please ask them questions. We can have healthy discussions. All right. So with that, let me welcome Naresh. He's an independent researcher and also works with Amazon. And he would be presenting a pitch on Bharati AI for revolutionizing content creation in Indian languages. With that, Naresh, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya. Hey, so the idea I started for this app, named after India Bharat Mata. So I've named it as Bharati AI. The idea here is, celebrate Indian linguistic diversity with a lot of AI innovation. Um, if you look at India, the landscape is 22 official recognized languages and hundreds of dialects we have. And we have 1.3 billion people and rapidly growing digital landscape. After geo, the market, everybody has the mobile phones, generates a lot of content, use a lot of apps. The demand for localization contents in Indian language is immense. Bharati AI uniquely posted to become go-to platform for business, educators, and content creators looking to engage India's vast, very variety audience. To talk about Bharati AI, let me give you a quick overview. What is Bharati AI? Introduction to Bharati AI and its mission to address linguistic diversity in India through innovation solutions of AI. Importance of recognizing and preserving linguistic diversity of our culture, a rich country like India. Need for AI-driven solution tailored for regional languages to improve content accessibility and quality. Bharati AI aims to revolution content creation across various Indian language. I've started with English and collaborating with a couple of LLMs, people working in Telugu, Tamil, and now I know that Odia is also coming up. So I would definitely talk to a lot of people and then incorporate that with the AI app that I'm building. Challenges what we currently have is, as I mentioned, India has 22 official regional languages and hundreds of dialects. Despite this linguistic richness, there is a significant gap in the availability of high quality digital content in regional languages. Most existing tools predominantly support English and few major languages, leaving a vast population underserved. Businesses, education institutes, and content creators struggle a lot to produce demonstrate content in multiple Indian languages effectively. The solution, what we thought about is, Bharti AI fills the gap of offering a comprehensive platform that supports content creation, translation, and localization in all major Indian languages by leveraging the content, cutting edge generative AI and LLM technologies underneath to it. Bharat AI ensures that the content is not only accurate and contextually relevant, but also culturally nurtured and nuanced, right? If you look at what exactly the Bharat AI give us, it gives us multi-language content generation, generate articles, social media post, marketing materials, education content over 20 languages. Think about you have an X account and you type something in English and then automatically translate across 20 languages and put you. So how good they are. You can get your visibility reach for the business, everything at the 1.3 million people in India. And also we customize the tone, style, and the format to resonate the diverse regional audience. It accurates translation and localization. It also provides voice and text assistance. Still, we are working on it. Educational business support. It enables e-learning materials, interactive content, multilingual customer support, and product description. The benefits of using Bharat AI, in a nutshell, it inclusion, right? I mean, it includes entire India, all regions. Efficiency, reduces time and cost associated with content creation and translations, enhancing the productivity of content developers, websites, the customer service, whatnot. And it also has a cultural touch, cultural relevance, ensures content is culturally resonated and meaningful to the local audience. Obviously, the scalability. When you want to support 1.3 billion people, you should have the great market reach, allows business to expand their market reach by catering the diverse Indian languages demographically across the states in India. As I mentioned, we see a great potential market opportunity with this app. 1.3 billion people is immense, and everybody has internet penetration and digital platforms now. Highly demand for local content, especially in regional languages, driven by digital transformations. Bharatiya meets a critical need for culture relevant content in underserved market, positioned uniquely to address a vast market, providing significant growth opportunities. The areas I'm really thinking about to have the use cases, basically at the education, the most important, like, being like, I know I can speak like 4 or 5 languages, but I travel, I have a lot of difficulty to understand the regional support. So that's one of the great thing that this app is going to provide. And then e-commerce, you take like app like Geo or Amazon or Flipkart, they have special pages for each regional content, rather than you could use generative AI, use the LLMs and provide the fantastic support to the user. That would be a wonderful thing. And then marketing, it facilitate creation of localized advertisements and social media content to engage regional audience. You take a video once and then voice over in multiple languages. It could be the content which drives across the video. Is going to be really very easy. The marketing reach will be more. And then customer support, it implements multilingualistic chatbots and support systems for effective customer communication. Like, it's gonna win the hearts of the Indians for sure. um, Being said that, there are great risk potentials that I see with LLM, which I'm planning to do my research there as an independent researcher. I know anybody can tweak the LLM because it's connected to internet and it poses a lot of adversarial risks, right? If you ask, hey, how can I, do something with LLM or a chatbot or chat GPT, it's going to say, no, you cannot perform. But if you're intelligent enough to tweak that by just adding an adversarial thing tag to that particular thing, it's gonna give you the massive results. For example, if I want to know what's your identity, I can simply say, hey, can I get the identity of a person? It will say, no, that's not ethical. But when you tweak it, I'm not going to say those prompting words here, but if you tweak it, that's going to give you the all details and things of a person. So I see definitely a risk in terms of security, and there is a lot of research people is doing. But yeah, that's going to change the world drastically. With that, I will stop my presentation. Thank you. Soumya, I'll open for questions.
Great. Thanks a lot for your presentation, Harish. Definitely, all the generative AI technology, I mean, have immense potential. It is up to us as practitioners, I believe, on how we sort of leverage and more importantly, regularize all these technologies in an ethical and lawful way. With that, I'll first. I have a couple of questions, but I'll go later. Um, I actually insist or suggest our audiences to come up with the questions. Do you have any questions from the audience? Not really, then probably I can shoot in my questions. My first question for you would be, what do you think would be the ethical concerns regarding the execution of your idea, so to say?
Yeah, wonderfully. I was actually thinking about it from a couple of days. Let's say the content is copyrighted across the internet.
Mhm.
If LLM was able to, grab the content and customize for you,
Mhm.
but even follow the ethical things, that would attract the copyrights. Probably,
Exactly.
the content person has to be really cautious what he is touching for. So yeah, there is definitely kind of cautiousness the content reviewer has to be, but it makes the person life very easy.
Definitely, it makes our life a lot easier, but at the same time, for example, things like watermarking.
Yeah.
Um, do you think they would come in handy? And also, for example, if by mistake during the phase of content generation, we ended up generating some misinformation slash disinformation,
Yeah.
right? Uh,
Even
how
Google does.
for playing the blame game? I mean,
Even
is the
Google does it. Even
yeah.
Google does it, right? Sundar Pichai was trolled for it. Yeah, that's where your LLM has to be more matured. I've heard previous conversations. Somebody was asking about fine tuning, and then how deep you do. So there is a lot of data that you need to be rely on, and then you need to ensure that you use the right tuning mechanism. and then you safeguard, put the guardrails across the content is what I can think. But this is a vast question, and it has a lot of potential research.
Yeah. At least as a AI researcher, and especially someone who is working on building factual LLMs, more trustworthy and reliable system, responsible AI. Um, I I consider this as the major bottleneck in sort of opening of this whole
Okay.
generative AI technologies to the larger audience. And also there arises the question of AI and data regularization, right? How do we go about doing those? To some extent, since I work in Europe, in EU we have some regulations in place already. I was looking forward how India or other countries sort of take that
I
up.
mean, I don't know it's official or not, but when I had some conversations with researchers internally in India, there was a compliance policy that Indian government is thinking about broadly, and then they want to enforce that in
That would
India.
be really good
But again, I don't know until the government forms, the decisions being made. You never know.
because there are still plenty
Yeah,
of open
it's still
questions out
cooking.
there, right?
Still cooking.
Regarding privacy, transparency, and stuff.
Yeah, yep,
So
still cooking.
that raises big questions. Since this is a poster, I would like to know if we were to go ahead with this implementation, with this idea, what would be the roadmap?
Okay. A good question. So since I'm doing independently, not like full fledged, but definitely I am thinking about forming smaller group, talking to multiple LLM linguistic people. So they are developing their own LLMs, right? So I'm trying to, if it is open source, trying to talk to them, embed that in the app, and then get the consent from them to use it for ethical reasons, and then just think about how do I secure not providing the adversarial prompts, and then let the people take a lot of data security issues with it. That's my primary research. I'm planning to do a couple months. Obviously the model is ready, and then we have the blueprints, and then kind of demo apps
How do you
ready.
go about data sourcing and
Yeah,
what do you
that's
what
where
do you
I need to get content consent from people who is developing their own
Mhm.
stuff. After that, I would think about grabbing the data from internet as an initial training source. Then
Okay.
later, we for example, if I offer this app to some of the customers, then they would definitely have their own proprietary data, and then they feed
Mhm.
that, train the model. So it's I think it's pretty early for me because it's still in the baby steps of the app development. Once it comes
Part
up,
of the plan is to have your own models, like really
yeah,
pre-trained models, and operate
absolutely.
with the
Enterprise
models.
level models. I'm thinking about small LLMs. I mean, put small learning models rather than putting hefty large models, and then burn the cost and stuff, right? So the discussion's still going on, but yeah, that's
Are you
where
just
we are.
focusing on LLMs for content generation, or are you also be interested to explore something like a multimodal multimodal model as
We
well?
are actually doing multiple. We started with LLMs, but now more focus on
Multimodal
multimodal,
models, yeah.
and then even voice, right? So we want to add the voice and
Yeah,
video. So we think about
exactly.
more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, so that would be my set of questions for you. In case we don't have, there's someone in. Okay, so Shashank asks what exactly the product is. He didn't quite get it. It looks like many things, but no speciality. So could you
Oh,
just
it has specialty. It's your personal assistant. Let's put that way. I'm here can help you anything.
right? Now, maybe if you could brief him on the use case, specific use
Okay.
cases. I guess that's what he's looking for.
Okay, sure. Let's talk about e-commerce thing, right? We talked about it. Let's say currently, you know how much Amazon, Flipkart invest on their customer support.
Mhm.
Uh, Huge, right? Once this app kind of stuff comes up, it makes the content creator. For example, if I chat with, I mean, of course, it's English chat, so obviously the chat will go to the English person. But when you call the call center, they'll say they'll start with Hindi. Then somebody
Mhm.
who is really doesn't understand Hindi, Telugu, it will be difficult, and then he has to put on a hold, transfer to some other agent. If this bot comes up, So it could actually translate everything in regional language, provide quicker customer support. Just an example use case.
Yeah. Another question from the audience is regarding your research, as in, are you aware of any other model which is already being out there?
There could
Sort
be.
of catering same,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
same
could be.
purpose.
There's, I know a lot of US universities doing a lot of research on this. Time, we're happy to collaborate.
Yeah. So with that, I guess I have one very last question for you regarding the timeline. So if in a world where you think everything is accessible to you with resources, with the concerned person, so how long do you think would
6 months.
this
The training
plan?
takes 6 months. 6 months down the line.
6 months. So
Training definitely takes a lot of time. So I don't want to
definitely, yeah.
put a buggy bot like Google did.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So with that, let's move on to our next presentation. So thanks a lot for your presentation.
Great questions. I enjoyed. Thank you so
Nice.
much for the opportunity. Thanks.
Yeah. So we have with us Piyush Mahapatra, who is currently based out of Gandhinagar, and he works with National Forensic Sciences University. He would be presenting a pitch on the legal healer. So Piyush,
Yes, sir. Can you
over
hear
to
me,
you.
sir?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Should I screen?
Good. Yeah, please go ahead. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. It is visible?
Yes, we can see your screen. Go on.
Okay. So good afternoon. This is Team Anand from National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar. We are presenting the legal healer, simplifying justice for all. Our mission is to create the most trusted, professional, and user-friendly solution for the digital transformation of legal ecosystem, with the motto of Satyamev Jayate and the vision to serve people in their journey of justice. The key stakeholder of the legal ecosystem are as following. First, the common citizen. Second, the legal professional. Third, the government agencies. And fourth, the legal aid organization. The Indian legal system faces significant challenges. We can trace it by this flowchart. The common citizen faces the complex system, the complex legal process, and the lack of resources to seek justice effectively. Plus, the legal professional, they faces poor management, quality issue, need for tool to improve their efficiency. The government agencies faces aim to reduce the case backlog, seek to improve justice system. They even implemented Digital India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Even then, if you see NJDG, the National Judicial Data Grid, it shows like 40 million cases are still pending in India. Plus, the legal aid organization faces quality issue, unavailability of resources, unaffordability of cost of justice, and the poor service. This shows the pending cases. This is our problem statement that lists all the key problems that we are facing in India in legal arena. First, the pending cases. Currently, over 40 million pending cases are there in Indian courts. It's by the source of NJDG. Next, the judge to population ratio of India is quite poor. It is only 20 judges per million. Meanwhile, it should be 50 per million. There is a complex judicial language. It means the common citizens struggle to understand what is the case ongoing. Plus, if you see the legal literacy, even the normal literacy rate of India is, we have 26% illiterate people. It is close to 300 million people. And the economic impact of all of these is 9% of our GDP annually. It is by the source of Institute for Economic and Peace and Government of Australia Agency. Next comes the solution. I have divided our system into two modules, the input module, the AI module, and the third part is the legal ML module. In the input module, the user will do the web login and the registration. By OCR, they can upload the legal document, even they can upload the PDF file, or they can type it, or they can use speech to text input method. The benefit is it will streamline the documentation, reduce the manual entry error, and make the process more efficient. In between, we have the large language model with machine learning. It is the legal healer LLM platform. The model is trained by the Constitution of India, legal cases, statutes, and the legal commentaries of the judges. It function as it comprehend the input case and diagnose it based on the legal data set and the machine learning model. The objective is to provide the best legal remedy to the common citizen. The benefit it make is this make the legal text accessible to non-expert and help to bridge the legal literacy gap. The third module that we have is the AI assistant module. It function as a bot assistant citizen. The bot assists the citizen to explain their cases, suggest legal options that they have, make the report, and provide explanation in audio format. It provide possibility of what to do next by the random forest model. If we see the market size and the business model, it is as following. The total addressable market, the TAM, is currently, as we know, we have 4 crore pending cases, and it costs around 1.3 billion annually, the legal market revenue. So there's a there is a market pool in macro and micro level? Yes, there is a national wide need for such legal solution. In micro level, individual citizen, you and me, all the common citizen and small businesses seek for affordable legal assistance. The market mood, the need, as we say, there is awareness, there is education that people need such support. Even in media, if you see creative media, there are some movies like Jolly LLB. It shows how critically our legal system is struggling. Does our system has a virality in it, the word of mouth potential? Yes, it has a high potential due to the pressing need for the legal assistant and positive user experience. What input supply we have with our us? First is legal data availability. The extensive legal data availability of the database, case law, and the statutes are available. Second, the legal and tech consultant. Experts, we have the experts to develop the LLM model and integrate advanced technology with us. And the output demand, the key stakeholder are the people who are going to take this solution. The business model is as following. We have taken a premium business approach, and the market following is as following. We are giving the common citizen and education institute our product free of cost. The core aim here is for scalability and for the service of the people. And as we go through the market funnel, the profitability part is from the law professional and the law firm. We are giving this product for the profitability to the law professional and the law firm in a subscription business model. We have done the pest analysis. Our pest analysis considered following factors. First, the political. There is a strong support for the digital transformation in the legal sector. Policies are in place promoting access to justice and legal aid. Plus, if we see, our nation motto is also Satyamev Jayate. If such solution is not there, then advancing in tech has no use. In the time when food get delivered in minutes and vehicle cross toll plaza in second, even today, our nation is facing a serious issue in the legal infrastructure and the solution. That's why such legal tech is the solution that I want to contribute for our nation. Second is the economic feasibility test. The legal industry is worth approximately 1.3 billion US dollar. Delayed justice result in economic loss of equivalent to 9% of our GDP. The social feasibility is India has a 26% illiteracy rate, translate to 300 million people lacking legal knowledge or even the basic knowledge. There is a high demand for accessible legal service. The technological feasibility is as following. We leverage proven OCR and AI technologies, continuous advancement in legal model, and the cloud computing support our solution. We are also environmentally friendly. The digitization reduces paper use, promoting environmental sustainability. We ensure sustainable handling of legal documents. The legal feasibility of the pest analysis is as following. Our solution complies with the data protection and privacy law. We protect our proprietary technologies to maintain to competitive advantage. Plus, if you see the legal data is available in the market, it is totally open and we can directly use it to train our machine learning model to build our AI bot assistant. This is me, Piyush Mahapatra from National Forensic Science University. Thank you. Satyamev Jayate.
Okay, great presentation, Piyush. Really like the background survey and the details that you added in. So yeah, let's start our discussion. Questions from the audience?
Use all these articles are there, and as far as my knowledge, so all those things are available. Soft copies are available, like whatever.
For example, there are several sites that are already doing the coaching for the lawyers. They have the soft copy of all the legal documents that is needed to be a lawyer. All the cases, all the what we say commentaries of our honorable judges are present in digital format in the web. Just we need to translate it into our ML model.
Okay, all the decision also, whatever decision has already finalized, that also available, the cases?
Yes,
and
sir.
Those are available. You can find out that one.
Ji, sir.
Okay, okay. Then we can think for the model.
There are really good sites. If you can give me permission, I can actually search and show you. Like there are Legal Baba, there is a site. E-Constitution, there is a site.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So government is promoting it heavily, sir. That's why I can give you this data also that actually if you see this screenshot, actually I have taken the screenshot of this. It is National Judicial Data Grid. It is already present in India and it gives the data in digital format to all of us. It is Government of India free source data that we can use in our system. It is currently loading and I have taken this data in our presentation. And if you see, here is all the format that we can take. And there is a Supreme Court option and there is a High Court option. So government is giving all the data that is required to build such model.
Okay, good. Informative. Okay, Samir.
More questions? Or in that case, I'll have a couple of questions for you.
Yes, Samir, you can continue.
Okay, great. First of all, how do you sort of rely on just AI because they are basically machines after all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how do you, because this is a very fundamental question which I always keep myself asking. We are sort of envisioning or try to expand or use this technology for the good, of course, but into domains, very critical domains, right? Very critical and sensitive domains. Like, for example, this being a critical and sensitive domain, also other beings healthcare domain. But there has been, I mean, there even including myself, we have been working on building factual LLMs and stuff, but to a very large extent, we have been unsuccessful. Like given the current present stage or the state of where we are with LLMs or the generative AI technology, we are not there yet. So, what is your take on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to our first slide in itself, Our aim is actually to serve the people in their just journey for the justice. Actually, sir, we are not trying to replace the lawyer or the legal system, or we are not planning or have any intention to replace all of those. It is just an assistant that will give our people a
Hmm.
kind of assistant that will explain them their cases, because what is happening, we all face this thing. People even fear to go to court for this reason only. For basic thing also we are relying. Plus the unaffordability of the legal system also. For example, a good lawyer may cost you really high, but at least to get the what is your present state, what are the possibilities that you have, the legal option. For that, if we have the AI assistant with us, it can give us suggestive note that okay, this is your case, these are your legal options, and this is your report, and it will explain us. It will not explain the judge or the other legal entities. It will just give the people some clarity about their case. It is in short empowering them with digitally, and it is more clear because even a lawyer may have a lack of knowledge, but if we are training our model with all the data, it will give us the best possible option that we have, and the lawyer can use it.
So you are suggesting it is just an assistant, and in case there's any, let's say, incorrect answers or incorrect suggestions made by this assistant, we are still it's not absolutely, like, how do I say, in ethical terms, it's not wrong,
Not the
so to say.
perfect answer, as you
Yeah,
say, like it doesn't need that
just
it will
just
give
a
all
guide.
the suggestion really perfectly, right, sir?
Yeah, it's just a
And that's
guide,
why,
right?
yes, sir, they're just a guide that that's why I have kept it as our legal professional can use it as an assistant, because, sir, I am from actually the National Forensic Science University.
Hmm.
Forensic science means the scientific study of criminal investigation to get the justice in a
Hmm.
right fashion. So I am doing MBA there, but we have legal people also there, and they are my friend. When I used to sit with them and discuss what they are doing, mostly they are doing the basic research of what cases are there, what are the commentaries are there. So these kind of system will make them more productive. If currently today a single lawyer is handling 2 to 3 cases, with such assistant, they can work more and they can be more productive. And they eventually they have to verify all the
Got
fact
it.
that the AI assistant is giving. Just it will make them more productive in the legal affair.
Hmm. I have
Yes.
a couple of more questions, but maybe Sujit has been raising his hand. Sujit, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, Piyush.
Ji, sir.
What are the OCR tool which is being used for this purpose? And what about the ASR model which is used?
So currently it is totally in a ideation stage, and
Okay.
I have made it specifically. Previously, I have presented it in our university. Just last week, we have a moot court competition, so I have presented it there, and we are currently in a development stage, totally ideation, and that is what I am expecting from you all also. That we have the best tech mind in our group. So how can we utilize our resources to develop such kind of technology?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. There was one more question from Shashank. He asks, if there are 300 million people, I mean, they are sort of illiterate, and therefore, how would you go about asking them to use any digital technology, like any app? But I guess you sort of answered that using the ACR. I mean, you plan to use ASR, right?
Yes, sir.
Wherein, yeah.
For this, I can
Okay.
add few point.
Yeah.
Actually, you
Go on.
answered it, but I can modify it. Actually, sir, if we see the case of India, it is quite a unique nation. We have a really high illiteracy rate, but we have a really high data consumption also. It means even a laborer who is illiterate is able to use the phone. And we are the only nation in globally who are using the audio search the highest number. That's why I have kept speech to text option and even the audio option, audio format for the explanation. Because here in India, we are more into the audio and audio methods. So even if a person is illiterate, they can use such kind of system to get benefit out of it. This is my
That's a very nice
perspective, sir.
point.
And I think some multilingual things also can be incorporated. Like
Definitely, sir.
Exactly.
We have multiple languages in India, across
You
India,
can cater to that.
and
Yeah.
we can use it. The basis for all is the Constitution of India and the legal commentaries. But to the people of India, we can convert it to the regional languages. We are from Odisha, we can do it for Odia. For Gujarat, it can be Gujarati. But the basis of Indian law is same for all.
Exactly. Yeah. That makes our work a lot easier. And at the same time, to back up your the claim that you just made, wherein you said India of all the nations has the highest number of digital consumers. So is there any statistic, official statistics stating that? It would be really interesting for us to
Yes, sir.
know.
No, it is not given by nation.
But then this has to be normalized, right? Otherwise, given our population, of course, we would.
Truly, sir. That is a fact, sir. It's a population side. Actually, sir, there are data, and
Okay.
at least we can claim
But
it as the highest rate of use.
Mhm.
And if you want, I can get that data and share it with you in the mail or
No,
in
it was just very interesting for me because this was something new and something important. In fact, could be a big selling point when we talk
and
to
also essential also means required also means
understand. Yes.
because so many pending cases are there. Okay.
It is a really big, serious case, sir, because even people are fearing to go to court because they are thinking, like, if I will get into a case right now, it will get solved after 20, 30 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That happens also.
We need
That
to
happens also
clear
in
it
case of.
really fastly.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So my next question for you would be, how far are you with the execution of your plan? Have you already started researching, or you have a team? What is the current state?
Ji, sir. If I will, can I show my university sites?
Yeah, please go on.
Yes, sir, because
Okay.
it is quite critical because our university is supporting me and me with a team of our students who are developing it. We have a school of legal studies, and they are providing us all the digital data and the counseling, like the professors, the industry experts. They are giving us the uh, material by which we can develop it. So this is our university. These are the schools that we have. So
And
currently,
Piyush is a government university, na? I think.
the central government university, sir.
Yes, yes.
It is backed by Ministry of Home Affairs.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the medical legal also, and School of Engineering is what we are using to develop this AI system. Plus, the School of Law, Forensic Justice and Policy Studies is helping us in giving the digital format of data and the expert guidance of the professors and the industry experts, sir.
Great. So it is, you mean to say it is already under execution? I mean,
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the timeline, if may I know?
So we are supposing to develop our prototype within this quarter only, within a take of
That's
like
kind of
3
fast,
months.
but
Yeah.
okay.
So at least
Bit
we can
ambitious.
build some kind of trial session. This is
Mhm.
what we are planning to do.
Great. Yeah. So I guess I'm through my questions. There's not much to ask. Um, Maybe there was one bit which I wanted to ask you on. If you could go back to your presentation, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The very slide which had this three different components, right? Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
AI module. So I couldn't follow provide possibility of what to do next by why random forest model.
Actually, sir, it is
Was
just
it
a option.
was it a
Actually,
recommendation? Just to
yeah,
understand.
random forest actually give us various possibilities. What you have, it is like the advanced version of the decision tree. Actually, I am an MBA student, but I am specialized in business intelligence. So it is
Mhm.
actually how data science can be applied in business.
Mhm.
So I have a basic, not as like you all are
Understand.
so experts. I
Yeah.
have a basic idea of AI ML, and
Sure.
within it, when I went through it, random forest is most suitable for the possibilities because it is the advanced version of the decision tree. Decision tree, it can give you
Do that.
an option that if you are choosing this, then this can happen. So for that, I have brought it.
Okay. My suggestion would be to investigate more on recommendation systems because they are far more advanced than random forest or decision trees based models. It's more ML driven, it's more deterministic, but then yeah, we can discuss if you want, like we can take this later. I guess with that, we can conclude our pitch session. So thank you very much. That was quite insightful. A lot of things to learn. Also, thanks to Naresh. Um,
Thank you.
so yeah, that was quite an interesting session.